too old to live in your car? Are you too old to live in a car, van, or let's say even an RV? Age is a big determination about doing certain things in life because age plays a factor. No matter how well you take care of yourself, your body starts to deteriorate and your eye-hand coordination starts to lessen. There's no way around it. You can be in great, excellent condition, but all of us are human and all of us eventually decay. And 40 years old is basically, on average, midway through your life. If we just played with round numbers, just say the average life expectancy is 80. That means at 40, you are at midlife. So, are you too old to live in your car? I think age is one metric. I think personality type is another metric. I think looking at who you are and how you've lived your life plays a part. First with age, I think once you cross over the 70-year-old threshold, once you are 70 years older, 70 years of age or older, I think then you have to start to be mindful that you are pushing the limits of your life expectancy of being able to live mobile. Why? The number one reason why is because I think as you get older, you want to spend less time on the road. So now I think you could live in your car or van. Maybe you just stay at campgrounds. You don't travel that much. I think you can make it doable. Certainly if you lived at an RV, you could stay at an RV park, or you can stay at the campgrounds for extended stays and only move once a month, drive at a very short distance to another campground. So even within your 70s, it can be done. But I think when you get to your 70s, you start to want to have a vision for the rest of your years, your golden years. Remember but I think you can do it all the way up to the point you needed assisted living. Because I think a house is a little bit of illusion, because if you really get in bad shape, you're going to need to get into assisted care living. You're not going to be able to have your independence of your home. But as you get older, you do get tired of moving. I mean, you're going to get tired of moving from campground to campground. You're never going to feel settled. And, I think a little bit of exception if you had an RV, because then you can pretty much stay at an RV park and just rent out that place from month to month. Or if you owned a piece of land, just stay on there. So, I think you have to be mindful in your 60s and certainly 70s as you start to reach life expectancy. Certainly you can live into your 80s and 90s and live an overall independent life. But let's be honest. I mean, as you get to in your 70s, I mean, you're less mobile, period. And you don't want to be on the road as much, period. Being on the road is the most dangerous thing. So, for me right now, I'm 38. I'm just about at the midway point in life. So I still have a little bit of a horizon to live this lifestyle. And I'm conscious of that. That's why I seized the moment of my life. But I don't think you necessarily get too old. I think you have to be mindful of age. And then I think you have to be mindful of your personality type. I was just listening to some lady in Starbucks talk about her 90-year-old husband. And he's very much now bedridden. But I remember her reflecting on when they went camping in their 30s or 40s. And they went hiking. And the husband said, "Oh, I forgot something back at the campsite." And he let his wife and her friends hike all the way to the top. And the wife was like very pissed. She goes, "Where is he? Where is he? Did something happen?" She was worried. They walked all the way back down to the campsite. And there he was at the campsite, sitting in his folding chair, just watching the wind blow. So what's the lesson? The lesson is she was saying that he's always been lazy. And lazy isn't always necessarily a bad trait. But if you're more of an active person than not. If you have a very much lethargic and lazy type way that you like to live, you're not really a hiker, you're not an outdoorsman, you don't like to move a lot, you're very static, and you have to know yourself. Knowing yourself is the key to all decisions. So she even said he likes a lot of creature comforts. He likes a lot of creature comforts, meaning he likes his spot on his sofa, he likes his TV, he likes his TV dinners or whatever. He's a fixed routine, stable, stationary guy. And so if you're a guy or a girl and that's your personality type, I think even at a younger age, this lifestyle is not for you because it requires all the opposite things of your personality type. It requires a lot of movement. It requires a lack of comforts. You don't have a lot of creature comforts, in a car or van, more in an RV, but you're moving a lot. And some people are not like that. And there's nothing wrong with not being like that, but you have to ask yourself these questions: your age, your personality type, and I think you kind of look at the final thing of how do you want to live your life, especially in your golden years. Do you want to go to campsite, or do you want to be on the road more? You may want to. You may say, as long as I can safely do it, I want to do it because I'm not alive in my house. My house is a prison. I often refer to many houses are like sheetrock cells. But for many people, being outdoors is too much vulnerability. It's not to their strength. So those are things to consider off my mind. And those, I think as you get older, you want more room. You want to be on a road less. You want to travel less. You want a little bit more predictability because you're less adaptable. You're decaying. Again, now, is this discouraging? No, but be mindful. Don't let me or anyone persuade you, but think about this, right? One is, again, I've shared on this channel that less than 1% of society lives out of their car full time, or are homeless, however you want to perceive it. And how many of those less than 1% people are 60 years or older, or 70 years and older? Very few 70 years and older. I think people get to retirement age, 60, 62, 65, 67, and I think they have the dream of RVing. So I think they buy the RV, and I think they start to travel. And what they find, like most people, even young people that live out of their car, is they hit the road for 6 to 8 months, and then they're done. They got their fill of adventure, and now they're done. So be mindful of that. I know people like still in middle age. They have a YouTube channel about living out of their car, and they've been planning it for months, and they're still not living in their car. I got a comment the other day on one of my videos that she said, Sam, people are more aware now of being a nomad, and so now when I bring it up to my friends, most of my friends already know about it. I said, yeah, maybe more people know about the nomad life now because of YouTube and stuff like that, but how many people are still actually doing it? Less than 1%. And she goes, well, that's true, because I'm still not doing it. So, a lot of people talk about it. A lot of people show you how to put Reflectix on your car. A lot of people and a lot of people tell you about, campground fees but who's actually doing it? And what are they telling you? I'm out here on the road. I've lived in my car for 2 years. I've been at campgrounds. I've been at truck stop, Walmarts. And full time, have I seen people above 70 do it? I have seen a few. I don't know if they have a home or not, but I know they struggle to get in and out of their RV. That's the truth. There may be some exceptions sprinkled in, but on average, do they look happy? I guess they're trying to make the most of their life, but like that one lady was saying today in the Starbucks, most of their life is centered around caretaking, around creating an environment that's stable, that they can get help when they need it, that their doctors are close by, and that their friends are close by, that they can yak and go to their neighbor's house and yap, or go to the Starbucks that they're used to and yap. And they don't want to meet new people. They don't want to go to new things because their mind is not adapting. Their mind is decaying. Now, is that sad and gloomy? It's reality. I mean, I could give you am I discouraging people who are older from doing it? No, I'm not. I want you to do your best life. But what I'm telling you is, do I plan on living in my car past 70? Possible, but I at that time, I will probably have a home base. I mean, even like the king of the nomad movement, Bob Wells, he bought a piece of land, I believe in Arizona, because he knows eventually he's going to have to squat somewhere. What should you do? Whatever you want. Should you go out there right now and buy a home base because you're scared that when you get older, you're not going to be able to do this? No, you shouldn't. I mean, it all depends on your age range and what's available. Like if you're in your 50s and 60s, You may have 10 more years of this lifestyle before you start to make that type of decision. 10 years, a lot can change. And I know people are always looking into the future. Sometimes that's good, but sometimes you got to pull yourself back. Because think about where you were 10 years ago. You were in a totally different place. So even if you're 60, should you buy a home base now? It's up to you. But by the time you're 70, I guarantee your life's going to change a lot. So, life is always changing. So I don't think there's one answer. I think those are some things to seriously think about based on my experience living on the road, living in my car for 2 years. Okay. No gimmicks, no celebrity get-togethers. This is the real life. Okay. I'm not camped out at my mom's house making videos to you showing how to put Reflectix up. Okay. Is there anything wrong with doing that? No, if that's what you want to do. I've been there. I've been in that stage of my career as far as like in this mode of nomad life. Do you get too old to do anything in life? I mean, do you get too old to play basketball? Well, when I broke my finger, I broke this finger. It doesn't turn straight anymore. This finger here. I was like 32, 33 playing a full court game of basketball with kids that were in their 20s, and they threw the basketball and it hit my finger the wrong way, and my finger totally was pointing the other direction. It came out of its socket. And when I went to the hospital and they popped the finger back in place and they say you ripped your tendons and everything, and I said to myself at that moment, I said, Sam, I'm 32 years old. I'm out here playing full court basketball. I said, am I going to the NBA? I said, I'm not going to the NBA. I said, what the hell am I doing? Now, if I still enjoyed to do it, I would still do it. But I'm saying that was one of the moments in life I'm too old for this. I'm not doing this anymore. So you do get too old to do things. That's facts. I like people who preach optimism, but I don't like people that preach it without a level of reality. And then I give people the freedom because I realize that everyone's a unique individual. You should do whatever you want because ultimately, if you just listen to other people, you won't be happy. So don't listen to me. Just take some of these things as a mental note and listen to other people and inform your own decision and own your life. But as I reflect on my life, I have gotten to certain points where I said, I'm too old for this. I don't want to do this anymore. Who determines that? You determine that. But certainly, you're not going to be able to drive forever. But you don't want to live your life like you're 80 either. You don't want to be 60 and living like you're 80. I see people get seduced into that. So you don't want to say, I want to plan for my elder years, and now you're living like you're 80, and then you just lost 20 years of your life because you're already planning to be in assisted living. There's a whole comprehensive way of looking at it. Age, personality type, and the logistics and the vision that you have to execute it. You have to look at those type of things and then approach it in your own way, and then you decide. Are you too old to live mobile? Or is now the time to seize the moment? Peace and love.